It got real nasty. Probably the hottest I've ever been in my life. It literally felt like you were running in a sauna. Why did I choose to inflict the pain upon myself? Life was wild, man. I feel it was a mix of my wife going back to work. This is her second full week of work back after a 6-month maternity leave. We've got 3 kids now, all in daycare full time. We've got business on Sisu's end, as well as on the Helen Hogsback end from the nonprofit side, just in full swing. I'm traveling, I'm in a mix of training and also trying to just keep my bearings together. This is probably the most chaotic life has ever been for me, and I love that. I feel like when I have more on my plate, I do a lot better than when I have less. When I've got different irons in the fire, it helps me be able to stay focused on like what really matters. And heading into this week of Run Across Ohio, I honestly didn't even think about the reality of doing the Run Across Ohio until I actually got into the RV.
But I'm gonna send the one leg.
Yeah,
that way.
Shirts.
There's
I
don't think we're the wrong.
Ian.
Thank you. You first, James. First. You're first. Lead the way. Wait, I'm first? No, you're first. I'm first. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Dude, why aren't you finishing?
Let me spray
What's that?
You're not finishing.
I just let Claude figure out the order.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't go through the order.
I feel like we all will finish together.
Todd,
That means I have to run an extra mile.
these are yours. Everybody needs to make sure that they have the map downloaded. Like that's what's going to keep you on track. We'll meet you at the next point each and every time. It doesn't matter if you have it on your watch or whatnot, but as long as you've got like your phone charged, the most important thing is that the person that's running has their phone charged. I don't want to run into any issues where somebody's like halfway and we get lost. So, all right, around the camper we got bed number 1 up here. This just pulls forward and then just stays down right here. We got a bunch of towels that we can put over bed sheets.
So that's pretty big.
It is. Sarah body, everything's right here. So the extra boots. There's like a lower back vibration belt, Theraguns, and then more of like their eye optic stuff. We've got bananas, gallon-sized bag utensils, VPN hooked it up with all the Go bars. There's caffeinated gels, non-caffeinated gels, utensil drawer, dude wipes, portable chargers. We got more headlamps, aid. Down here, air fryer.
Making chicken nuggets? What are you doing?
We got burritos.
Yes.
There we go.
Up here we've got popsicles, Uncrustables, burritos. We got cold water bottles in case we got to roll them up people. And then bomb pops. And then down here.
Oh wow.
There's like 36 ghosts in here.
I'll take care of
There's
that.
just
I'll take care of the ghosts.
If we finish all those, someone's having a heart attack for sure.
Coca-Cola. We got like a 36 pack. So this is part of it. There's a bunch of Uncrustables in here, and then all these meals are from a Cleveland-based like food prep company called Unrefined. So they made them for us.
So there's
a lot of
there's
stuff in here.
beds for everybody.
Yeah.
Todd was real worried.
Yes.
Ian was like,
Big sleep guy.
Ian was like, I want one bed. Like that for everybody.
Just that.
Yeah. A smaller.
We've got 2 coolers, so we can put bags of ice. More than likely tomorrow. Does anybody have any questions? I feel like I just want to rip the Band-Aid off and get going.
Ready to go.
Yeah,
There's not much else to do.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. We'll all figure it out on the way.
Go for gold.
Yes. Here's some sisu shirts.
Todd, make sure this is on right. Want me to put it on for you?
Let's see. 20 pouches or 20 milligrams?
Oh, no. 20 milligram would be the lights out. Ready? You already wipe?
Yep.
This will be the test.
See if we can throw on some
Should stay.
Alright. Let's do it. Alright.
Excited. Weird. It's a weird feeling to feel before running 326 miles. Let's get started. Here we go.
I feel like
sick
excited
view
today.
This is legit. It looks cool.
Drake, how you feeling?
I need a ghost.
He needs a little.
There's a
caffeine.
lot of ghosts.
He's a 96 recovery on the whoop though, so he should be.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're gonna be at like a negative 10.
All right, Claude, here we go.
We're in Cincinnati, Ohio, going to Cleveland, Ohio. We got Ian Schinelli, Todd Anderson, James Osborne, and myself, and we're gonna go 326 miles, 4 guys, 1 RV, relay style. I have no idea what we're about to get ourselves into. And this is our latest episode of Jackass. Pretty cool.
Johnny Knoxville has a lot less hair than I remember. This is actually pretty nice.
So nice.
Dude, that's
I think
that's
that will
legit
actually-
right there, dude.
You actually went grab that. It's amazing.
I mean, the less fabric I gotta
He
wear.
likes to show his belly button.
Yeah, dude. A couple of navel shots.
I love a good navel.
This run is 100% sponsored by Claude. Claude Cowork. Changing the game since 2026. I love doing something hard once per quarter. When I do something hard once per quarter, it pulls me out of my daily rhythm, pulls me out of just the monotony of life. While I get to travel and get to experience cool things with sisu and just the craziness of family life, when I get 48 to 72 hours of just throw myself in the fire and see what happens, it makes me so much sharper. And I don't do it for the pain. It's kind of just this process that occurs halfway through a 72-hour gauntlet like we just did, where you realize so much about yourself that you could then apply afterwards, after the experience. Like, that's why I do it. And I also do it for the memories and also do it for the cause. Like, we got to raise money for cancer patients in need as a result of us supporting Helen Hogsback. I got to meet James Osborne and Ian Schinelli that I never really got to know prior. I knew Todd really well prior, but the reality is that you do it for the memories, you do it for the people, and you do it because you find something else about yourself that you wouldn't otherwise get to have. And this all stems back from my dad. My father went through a cancer bout and then a really awful stroke as he was recovering from cancer, where he had to relearn how to walk and speak post-operation. And it was something that just kind of hit our family by surprise. And for him to be able to 4 months after we learned how to walk and speak to run 40 miles at the initial Helen Hogsback, which is a 12-hour max distance race here in Cleveland, up and down this nasty hill. This was an endeavor to get from Cincinnati to Cleveland to where we knew that we were going to be able to inspire people, build community, but even more so be able to support cancer patients that need it. My father was so fortunate that he could say yes to cancer treatment and be able to say yes to the financial burden of having to say yes to the cancer treatment that I know that other people weren't able to be a part of, or be able to say that same yes to that type of decision. And so for us to be able to galvanize around that cause and be able to help cancer patients, it was just a huge honor for us to be able to do that.
Did you claim your spot? It feels like it. I feel like I feel comfortable right here. I feel like I look good here.
I knew Todd would be a glutton for punishment. Todd's one of those guys where if I ask him to do something hard, he typically will say yes, I'll figure it out, and here we go. Todd is 6'2", 6'3", 240 pounds. He's not a runner, but can he get out there and be gritty? Yes. So I knew that he would be a yes. So I sent him a message about 5 months back. And then the other two actually kind of came about last second. Ian decided to commit to it about 2 months prior, and then James was about 3 weeks prior, because we originally had a couple other people that said yes that had to back out last second. And so to get kind of scrappy and figure out who was going to be the right fit last second was kind of a challenge. But I'm so happy the 4 people that ended up running it were the best 4 people you could ever ask for. It was the ultimate level of humor and intensity and tenacity and seriousness, and then back to humor. It was a great personality compliment. Prior to the trip, we created these AI cards for each guy, essentially like an NBA Live or NFL or Madden NFL type of stat column, where we ranked each guy on their level of grit, their RV etiquette, their 3 a.m. personality, their ability to sleep anywhere. And all those actually came true and alive. Todd Anderson he just has a level of grit that I've never seen most people have. Again, he's not a runner, but he ran 60 plus miles across Ohio. And when you factor in the 60 miles, granted they were 4 to 7 miles at a time, the AC went out on the RV the last day, and who was the person that rallied everybody around when things got real tough? It was Todd. Ian Schinelli is a Navy SEAL. He has this level of just determination and calmness to him. He would come back after a 6-mile jaunt at 3 a.m. on the second night, and he would be so cool, so calm. He would open up a Ghost Energy. He would grab some electrolytes. He would throw on the Therabody jet boots, and he would just wash, rinse, repeat. He was just very determined and understood the assignment. And he also inflicted some of the best humor into the trip, some of the dark humor at some point. James Osborne is the co-founder of Exchange Running Collective out of Nashville, which is one of the most thriving running communities in the entire nation when it comes to running stores. If you met James, you would say that he's more quiet, but he has this level of focus to him. But the thing that I admire so much about him is that he was our rudder and the even person on the trip, where every single time that you saw, anytime when you felt like you were starting to trail off in terms of your level of motivation, you would just see him just doing the same thing over and over and over again. I have this vision still, it kind of like replays in my mind all the time. The way that it would go would be James, me, Todd, and then it would go James, me, Ian. And that was the same order over and over again from Cincinnati to Cleveland. And I knew I was ready to start running, and I would have to start getting prepared for running, because he would have this magnesium spray and he would shoot it onto his legs, and you hear just like the puffs of the spray, and then he would massage it into his legs. And when I knew that he was about to go out for his leg, I was like, dang, I only got 10 more minutes before I need to start prepping for my leg. And then for me, I think I was just kind of the golden retriever / idiot of the trip, where I would be on the RV. Like prior to the trip, I was opening a graham cracker sleeve, and I chipped my tooth, and then like I get down there and I see the guys, and I've got this gap in my teeth, and I'm like, all right guys, here we go, let's just get this thing going.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get it. Go. Go.
It wasn't this crazy moment of 3, 2, 1, go. It was kind of like, all right, well, are you ready to get going? And James looked down at his clock, it said 3, and we're like, all right, here we go, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. We fist bumped and we left.
Man, I'm excited. This is real. I'm gonna cramp within the first quarter mile. That would actually be hilarious.
See you on the side of the road.
Yeah.
How long's your leg?
4.8 miles.
What's James wrapping up
Well,
what?
I mean, he looks strong, he looks good, but it's gonna be something if he's like beet red and super sweaty. I mean, it's like 95 degrees outside right now.
And we went, and it wasn't this crazy emotional experience. I think it was starting to hit home that we were gonna run, but I don't think anybody truly realized that we were in this race until 2 legs in for each person, where heart rate was up, we're sweating, the vibes were starting to pick up. I think all of us then realized that we had another 48 plus hours on this RV together, and that we were gonna have to buckle in. It was really hot off the start. I think it was 95 degrees, straight sunlight. There was no shade for anybody off the rip.
Yeah. First one done. 20 more to go.
How's your first leg?
Started off real nice, 6:50 pace for a half a mile, and then it was a complete implosion. I held like a 7:20-ish for the next couple miles, and then it was like, it feels hotter than hell out here.
When did you start
Like
sweating?
legit hotter than hell.
When did you start sweating?
I think it was 19 steps in, I started sweating. I chugged an entire like BPN, salt, whatever, electrolyte, and I think I might have saved my life, because I haven't been in heat like this in a very long time. It's absolutely miserable. How you doing? We'll do 2 large bags of ice.
Oh.
Well, let's do 4 smalls.
Really nice.
It's really hot today. Really, really hot. Put the coolers out here. Good luck. Go run your heart out. That's what it says. Once you get on the RV, it feels so good being underneath here. As long as we get like cooler body temp down, we'll be good. I got it. There was one spot where I was running like probably half a mile and then looking if it was kind of straightaway.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden when I looked down in the sun, there was no orange on it. I was like, okay. I was like, where am I?
Yeah, where am I? Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So one thing.
Get it moving in the same direction.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun.
Maybe a pocket cherry, huh?
I got 6.6 out the gate though. That's an aggressive start.
Roll 10K.
I actually think that's my longest leg. Is the first one. Yeah, no problem. Saturday morning 10K.
All I could think about was my pace for whatever reason. I wasn't thinking about how many more miles I was gonna have to do. I wasn't thinking about anything other than I'm gonna see if I could hold about an 8-minute pace, knowing that our goal average time was gonna be a 9-minute per mile pace for the entire 326 miles. And I think it was after about a day, all of us kind of looked at each other and were like, we're not gonna be running 9-minute miles for this thing.
Like individually?
Oh wait, I can tell you. We're 46 miles in right now.
I'm 7.7, but only 6.6 counting because I went off track.
He saw an ice cream stand.
No, that would have been worth it. That would have been definitely worth it. Ice cream would be a legit snack.
I would, if we see an ice cream man tomorrow, I'd ask him for a free like Choco Taco.
I'll pay for one. They stopped making those.
Choco Tacos? What?
They went out of business. Like
Choco Taco did?
Like 2 years ago.
Man, I missed that
It was
train.
like a big thing.
If I could swing by an ice cream scoop shop and just ask for...
I want like a soft serve. Yeah. One gulp, dude. Take that thing down.
Just one slam of that.
That's how Todd eats bananas too.
Yeah, just
No bites.
no bites.
You know how much money girls would pay to be laying right here? Phil, we could start doing a TikTok shop auction here.
Yeah.
Swap spots with Todd.
Soft spots?
Swap spots.
Swap spots.
I think we created this hilarious reel of Todd via AI where we joked around like, oh, Todd had a hitman on his first leg. He comes out, I tag him, he goes off and tries to cross the street and then a car hits him. This trip specifically made me respect Ohio unlike any other trip. Ohio's way more beautiful than I even imagined. I know the state parks, I know the national park of Cuyahoga Valley National Park, I know Lake Erie, but once you start getting down into rural Ohio and the hills and the countryside and just the meandering paths, it made me just give it so much more of a respect, and it's way bigger than I ever envisioned it to be. It was when the sun came up on the second day. So it was after that first night. We're probably about 14, 15 hours in on this run, and all of us had probably ran at that point 5 to 6 legs. And I was still at this like mid 8-minute per mile pace, and we're by this farm running through. I'm tagging out to Ian, and I have all these horseflies literally just trailing me the entire time. And every time as I was running faster and faster to try to outrun these horseflies. And every time I would swap behind my head, I would hit multiple horseflies every single time. And then they're landing on my shoulders, landing on my back. I don't have any bug spray on, so I'm definitely not setting myself up for success on that end. But I was starting to pick up pace, and all of a sudden I was down at like a low 7-minute per mile pace, swatting horseflies away. And I tag out Ian. All I could think about is I just want to get in this freaking RV and go. And in that moment, I realized that this like survival switch started to turn on where I wasn't tired. I was maybe 10 minutes of sleep in on the night, and the sun's is awake now, and Ian's out on his next leg. I'm running my fastest miles. And I realized at that point that there's a lot of work to be done, but that I was in it for the long haul, and that things were gonna have to get real nasty to be able to complete this thing. It was good. That was the first leg that actually felt semi-normal. So we throttled back the pace a little bit, so we were like high 8s instead of like low 8s. That made a really, really big difference. So now Ian just went out, and then James, and then me, Bean, and then what I think Todd rolls after that. So yeah, that was good. It also helped that it was a lot cooler out.
No sun. There's no people. I saw 7 deer, 2 rabbits. 1 rabbit got confused and literally zigzagged, I thought 8 times, back and forth across the path. And I was like, surely this guy's gonna figure it out before I get there. Pretty sure I saw a bat. Ate 2 bugs. All pretty good.
This is mile 100.5. 30 minutes last night. I feel great.
I don't think Todd slept 1 minute.
No, he told me. Todd gets very angry when he doesn't sleep. He's an angry elf.
That was good. We're back to daylight.
Broke 100 miles.
Those were the best miles of the entire trip. I feel like everybody thinks about the sun being up, it's heat of the day, you could see in front of you being this like ideal situation. To me, it was the 2, 3, 4 a.m. runs where it was super dark out. Sometimes, like we had our headlamps on, but a lot of times we never had them on. You would just let your night vision take over. You would get the reflection of the moonlight down, that you would just be on this trail and you're just getting your miles in, and it's so peaceful. You hear the crickets in the background, you hear the frogs, and you're just hearing the sound of your feet. I had Ella Langley on. I'm an Ellis fella for sure at some moments, and it was so peaceful, and it was also the coolest time. I mean, you had mid 70s, high 70s at night versus high 90s during the day. We always welcome those miles at night, and those were the miles that we didn't have to necessarily stop to walk. You're just getting your 4 or 5, 6 miles at a time and just tagging out, and it was the best. We're about 1 mile out.
What are we?
We're about 1 mile out. Yeah, I don't know.
What's time called 1 mile out? 1 mile out.
By M&M. No, it's 8 miles. That's 8 miles. 8 miles out.
We're in the outback here in Aussie. We're about to get a bloomin' onion.
Shower was a 9 out of 10. Pretty electric. It's the first time I felt relatively clean. I mean, it's a lost cause, but it's more of just like laying down and not feeling relaxed. These are great. The vibrations, I wouldn't have thought made a big difference, but they're good.
It feels like it's 60 degrees out right now. This is when you know that you're thriving in life. When you're in the middle of Columbus, Ohio, and you're 1 mile out. This doesn't do anything. This doesn't do anything. Look. My Coros watch came back and said that I had 70 cumulative minutes of sleep across this 55-hour run. I know that Todd barely got any, I know that Ian barely got any, and I definitely know that James didn't get much. I thought it was going to be a huge factor, probably like the second largest factor behind the heat, and it ended up being a very low factor. The reason being is that I think that the community aspect on the RV, and knowing that you only had an hour 45 or so to be able to rest, recover, fuel, prep, get new clothes on, potentially try to cool off with like a cold shower on the inside of the RV. Like that's all that you had. And so it always had this next up mentality versus when I'm doing 100 miles straight on a 100-mile run, for example, the last year for the Burning River DNF, it's just such a different feeling. And I think I just didn't want to let the guys down. I don't think any of the guys wanted to let each other down, so you wanted to get through your leg quick. You didn't want to let the guy down in front of you. You didn't want anybody asking or questioning if this guy was going to be able to continue on with this run.
Dude, what the 40 degrees cooler? Dude, it's, what the like, I'd be better off in Alaska right now. This is intense, dude. The fact that we don't have a sprinkler or a water slide is a crime. Holy I had to stop twice in mile 3. Like good pace, and all of a sudden it was like 65% sun all the way through mile 3. I was like, nothing is gonna save me out here. Still had like at 8:55, 9:15, I'd sneak a 10-minute in there for half a mile. But like, that sun is nasty. Nasty. What? It's tough because like it gets warm. It's like I don't even want this. I mean, I got through a good amount, which is necessary. Like I had 2 scoops of the salt and stuff, but if it doesn't stay cold, it's tough. Put that inside, please.
We could have gone the safe bet of just loading up a pickup truck and maybe another SUV and getting the guys to go from point A to point B. But anytime when I think about something epic, I don't know why I come back to the camper RV situation where you could get all the guys underneath one roof. If somebody of human decency came onto this RV and did not know what we were doing, they would think that we are a college fraternity on wheels. A lot of times you're having to dodge different sweat pockets or sweat pools that were on the ground. You have random shoes and socks that are so wet all over the place. You have shirts that are hanging up on the back of chairs. You have this bed in the very back of the RV that is just pooled with sweat. And you have energy drinks that are half drinking or fully drinking with cans crushed on the ground. It was a madhouse, man. It was literally Animal House on wheels. There was just nonstop humor. A lot of times we're making fun of each other. Todd's making fun of me. I'm making fun of Todd.
All right, so last night I'm running. First off,
No there I was.
I definitely ran past like a what do you call it? Manure like processing. There's this massive manure process. It was this worst smell for like a mile straight.
You ran past a shit field.
Yes.
Okay.
No, it was worse. It was like they like manufactured
Conveyor belts and stuff.
So then I get, so I'm like 2 miles in either direction from me getting there. It's 4 in the morning. There's this wooden, like, just like, not a shack, but like a tent, just like 4 posts and a roof. There's a guy with a beard sitting with his legs crossed, just staring at me. And I'm like, what's up, man? He just doesn't acknowledge me, he just stares me dead in the eyes the whole way.
You ain't from around these parts?
Yeah. And I was in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I hadn't seen a building in a mile. And
It was Gandalf.
definitely was motivating to keep running because I kept looking behind me. Kept looking behind me.
Did you speed up?
No, I just made sure that I didn't hear his footsteps behind me. It was creepy though.
I'll bet.
It was more just like, it had been one thing if you like even was in something, but the fact that he just like tracked me. I mean, I was 2 feet away from him.
It's probably on the road.
I mean, that was the best case scenario. But that, dude, you get him some PCP and chase me down. Who knows what's gonna happen, you know? that was my thought. I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure he's at least old enough where he's not going to catch me.
Some people made fun of Ian here and there. You have to walk a certain line with making fun of Ian as a Navy SEAL. And then you got James. I don't think anybody like made fun of James because he was so locked in on his process. But then you had Brock and Keith. Like Keith ran 36 miles throughout this thing. Also, like he didn't anticipate to run 36 miles, but he was just out there crewing, aiding guys. When guys needed to go run with somebody in the heat of the day, he was the guy to go do it. Then you had Drake just creating and concocting these crazy videos along the way. There was a conversation that Ian and I had around Bud's training and Hell Week. It was at night, maybe at 2 or 3 a.m. on the first night, where we were asking him questions around like, what was the hardest thing that you've ever done? How many cycles did you have to go through on Buds? And it was just this real conversation around that, and then the parallels to what we were doing with Run Across Ohio. And it just made me realize the level of human and performance that he's operated on, but also gave kind of both of us this level of respect for each other that carried on to the race. I mean, he's exceptional human, all around good dude, but the guy's just been through it, and it was cool seeing him draw those aspects that he has in the Navy SEALs to the Run Across Ohio. And then James being a little bit more introverted, but when he speaks, like, you need to listen because he has something really important to say or something of value. It was cool being able to draw back on, he's much more of like a visionary for the exchange, and he's done such a good job building community down there. And so when we got to start talking about business and how they're building community and his run at the BPN Last Man Standing race and how him and his wife trained together for it, and they both ran 130 plus miles at this Last Man Standing race, it was just this really cool conversation that I think started galvanizing us early on, that I think we had within the first 8 hours of this run together. So there was a couple of those conversations that just kind of drew us close, that if you don't have that time on the RV where you have an hour to kill together before your next leg, you just don't otherwise have. And I'm grateful for those because now we have these memories that we'll always, when we come to see each other again, we'll talk about this run across Ohio and the stupidity on the bus and the stupidity out on the road. I'll never forget that.
All right, we are about 2/3 of the way done. We're over 200 miles. What time is it? 9:21 p.m. James is finishing up. We'll tag out that I'm going for my last long stretch, 6.1 miles. I think this is one of 8 more times I have to run. So James and I fronted a lot of load from a mileage standpoint. Right now we both feel really good. I also don't necessarily envy Ian or Todd. They have a long rest in between each time that they run, and the way that I feel in between when I'm resting, like my hamstrings almost kind of want to just naturally cramp up. And so for them, like, they're trying to get some rest, but it's just hard because you're just layering in like the heat and all the volume. I think everybody knows that the end is in sight here, and that I was actually just laughing that it's true poetic justice that this crew runs out of AC in the last 50 miles of the trip on the hottest day of the year in an RV. This place is disgusting in here right now. Absolutely just barbaric. Hey, put it nice on your back. Here. Nice. It's hot. Yeah.
I brought 7 of them one for you.
Oh, thanks.
Oh man. I mean, this is actually cooler than the side.
Yeah.
The generator went out on the hottest day of the year, the very last day. We still had about 15, 16 hours to go. The generator was only allowed to be on for about 8 hours at a time, then you'd have to shut it off just so the generator wouldn't overheat. And I guarantee you it overheated well before the 8 hours was up, a lot of times just because it was already so hot. But we were trying to get this thing to start, and you would have to go press down on the prime button to prime the generator, and then press start, and you hear and every time you're like, come on, you got it. And the amount of, like, I think Todd was so optimistic about this generator working, where he's like, dude, it was almost there. We were in Massillon, Ohio. This is like the first big city after Columbus that we had hit. And that's when we all knew that this thing wasn't going to start back up, because we went to actually check the generator underneath the RV, and the air filter popped off and broke, and the thing that kept the air filter on lost its bolt and nut to keep it on. We're like, this thing's not coming back alive. We messaged the RV company to see if they could like start it, like figure out a way to start it back up for us, and they couldn't. And they also told us that there was this outdoor shower mechanism for the RV that was attached to it. It was not there. So the things that keep us cool on the RV just were not there anymore, because all of us kind of looked at each other like, what are we gonna do? This is so miserable. I think I was 75 miles in on my leg. You had Ian 50 plus miles in, Todd 50 plus miles in, and all of us kind of looked at each other thinking, what are we gonna do? And I think Ian went out on his next leg in Massillon after that, and he came back to the RV, and we're like, well, boys, we got our work cut out for us. We're not in the home stretch right now. We're just starting up a new day. It's a new race. Here we go. And I think all of us just kind of embodied the sisu mentality of just never give up. Here we go. Just ultimate determination and grit to cross this finish line, which was Lake Erie.
Ian, watch your map on this, okay? Watch your map. It's just, it gets tricky. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, great job, dude. How do you feel?
Exhausted.
Yeah.
I feel good.
I've got one more leg that I'm on the books to do, and then I told
Okay.
like whatever ones you want us to take.
Okay.
I'd be happy to.
Yeah. I think I've got 2 more.
Yeah. Basically, I finish up, and I know that I've got an hour 45 before I need to be back out.
Right.
And so every time I open up the RV, he was asleep with the Normatec on, and he had the same process over and over.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I mean, consistency, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a newborn schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, legit. Yeah. And then, because at first, I remember being like, oh, this is gonna suck.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You know?
Can you just do my own really quick?
I don't know, like that.
Paige and I were texting about that.
Top 3 worst ones. I mean, it's 3 o'clock. It's the worst part of the day.
Yeah.
I appreciate your vote of confidence to allow me to not die, or know that I probably won't die. But it was questionable at best.
Yeah. I mean, there was definitely a possibility of stroke.
A smoothie right now would be
Amazing, right?
fire. Hey, this is tough.
So much of me, like halfway, was gonna be like, man, Keith, get in there. Like, you know, I think all of us were going through that mentally.
Yeah.
Like, this was the first ultra I've ever done where it was a true wash, rinse, repeat over and over and over and over. I mean, we were only having like an hour, 40-minute break as needed, you know? And it wasn't enough to sleep because you had to wind down off of it. You're so hot. Maybe you'll sleep 20 minutes if you could get that, but it was really just closing your eyes. And then we're getting jostled around in the RV, and then you have to prep, you know, and you have to get your nutrition in. It's so sick.
It made it so much more memorable, and it got real nasty. Probably the hottest I've ever been in my life. It literally felt like you were running in a sauna, and it made me realize how important sauna therapy and sauna training was for this and heat adaptation, because without that, we would have been schmucks. There was a moment outside of Columbus. So all of us, we had one rule in the RV, that was not to poop on the RV. You had to go elsewhere, so that meant taking dude wipes in a bag and go doing your business and coming back to the RV, throwing it into the garbage.
Poop on the side of the road. It was nasty.
While you're running?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Just straight like deep squat. Like it was also 2 feet off the road because there was there was a river, so there's nowhere to like go in.
Did you at least have a view?
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And that's squirrels on Cardinal.
I pre-apologize if anyone ever. I mean, I don't think anyone's ever. I was in the middle of nowhere.
I almost did it on somebody's property, and then I randomly like passed this
Church.
There was a moment outside of Columbus, just north of Columbus, where Ian went up to a church and asked the person at the door if he could use the bathroom, and they said no. Well, then he had to go. Like when you have to go when you're running, you got to go. So he found this open field on church grounds and did his business and came back, and then it was his leg up. So he went from that to the hottest part of the day on day 2, 3 p.m. in the afternoon, goes out for his run, and he comes back to the RV. And we've got all of the sisu towels on the ground. We've got all of the socks and shoes trying to dry out in this open air asphalt ground. And Ian comes back and says, dude, that was hot, man. I was not ready for that. Man, this is miserable. And again, he's a Navy SEAL. He's coming back. I'm thinking this guy's the most even keel guy. When he started going through it, that's when I knew, like, all right, we're all starting to crack here. And I think it's an important part to do that, because that's when we start rallying around each other. I'm telling you, like, when I came back off that leg, I was so miserable. I remember just kind of leaning my head up in the RV over the freezer, or I should say the ice chest. I had my forearms in it and my head up against the refrigerator, just thinking, like, I'm not gonna die right now. I know I'm fine, but I'm gonna have to do something I've never done before, and that's just like pony up, dude. You know, like a lot of times I've always felt like I had the scapegoat, but I didn't want to let any of these guys down. That's why I love this relay, is that I didn't want to let any of our teammates down. So that meant I have to prep, I have to get my nutrition in, I have to do this, I have to do X, Y, and Z for me to be able to best set up for my next leg. That was the moment where I started cracking.
You see back on? Got me.
Looked at Todd. His was also around at 3 p.m. on I think the third day. He came back after his run. Dude, he was out. Like, I don't think he wanted to do it anymore. He didn't say F this or F that, but you could just look at Todd and just know that, all right, like, Todd's done. We're good. But same thing, he's gritty. He just kept going and kept going. James, I don't think I saw anything in him. He just kept going. Granted, I didn't get to see him recover after every single time, but every time I came back in the RV, every single time I came back, he had his eye mask on and he had his jet boots on, and he was in the same recovery practice over and over. I think he did it 24 times in a row.
Status update. James and I just finished up our legs for the entire race. James finished off, what, 104.6 miles. I need to count mine. They're probably just underneath 104. I think I set my PR at around 102, 103 miles. Todd and Ian are going to finish up their legs, and then we'll be off to the races. The inside of the RV is completely clean, quote unquote clean. Somebody's going to have to absolutely power wash this thing, or we're going to need to drive it directly into Lake Erie and just send this thing. My dad just came, so he's supporting the last few miles. Paige, my wife, also came. We got a babysitter tonight for this. We'll have some beer and pizza at the finish line. Give me chills. We just ran the entire state of Ohio. About to see Lake Erie here in about a second.
It was less of an emotional roller coaster than I thought. going into things that are hard, I always end up envisioning it being way harder than it actually is. The anticipation of fear often outweighs the actual fear you experience in the moment itself. And it wasn't as bad of a high, or it wasn't as high of a high as I thought I was gonna feel, nor as low of a low. We were a little bit more even keeled, but we still felt the roller coaster. And the deeper we went on into it, the more you felt the roller coaster. And I think it wasn't until the last like 3 or 4 legs where I think all of us saw the light at the end of the tunnel, where we started joking around a little bit more, even round around each other even more. That's when it started feeling like we came off the roller coaster a little bit. Man, that first full day, and then that second legit night, I think all of us really felt a little bit more of that emotional swing. None of us ever got on each other's nerves that I think of. We'll see. We'll see if as we go to watch this video together, if we actually did get behind each other's backs. But I think that we all did a really good job of trying to keep things even keeled and the emotional spirits high. In my mind, visioning the finish, I thought it was going to be us as a group with nobody else on the beach at around like 10 o'clock at night, going into Edgewater Beach and having this euphoric moment where we all jump into the water together. It's like Rocky, we're throwing like water up in the air at each other. It was the opposite.
Thank you for letting us go. You're doing it, brother. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining, man, for sure. Holy smokes.
Most guys that were on this RV, that were on the trip, had never been to Cleveland. And they roll in and there were cops everywhere. There was like every walk of life that were on this beach. Like the beach was just covered with people and they're trying to kick people off the beach. And there was people getting arrested. It was honestly like low-key hilarious and also a little sus. And so when I'm looking at the guys at the end, and I don't think anybody thought that the ending was going to be us trying to dodge the cops to get onto the beach, but we did.
There you go. Great job,
You did it.
Okay. You made it!
This actually feels so good.
And we all had a Corona after, Il Rione pizza, and then we got back to my house, and everybody was pretty depleted at this point, but we got Swenson's burgers, Galley Boys, milkshakes. We were just loading up on food, and I think everybody was just totally exhausted, but I ended up finishing out there at the end, and the ending was a lot different than I thought. I thought it was going to be like a Huntington Beach morning where I'm just out there solo by myself, and it was the complete opposite, and it kind of made for a funny ending. I don't think it ruined the experience, but it definitely made it memorable. I believe everything happens for a reason, and it just was, hey, like here's this first impression of Cleveland, like here's this beautiful skyline, you got this amazing trail, and then boom, right into the beach where there's cops everywhere. It's just the way that it played out, and I'm grateful for it. I had 7 grown men inside my house the night that we finished. It was midnight that we all arrived, and you had all 3 of my kids upstairs sleeping, my wife sleeping. She's also trying to like help us navigate in the house. We got 3 dudes sleeping downstairs. You got a couple people upstairs. It just men everywhere, basically sleeping in our house. But everybody was out. It was like a switch went off. It was so hard to sleep on the RV. But as soon as we hit the bed here, everybody was out immediately. I'm a big believer of doing things that are gonna be memorable, hard with a group of dudes that are willing to sacrifice a few days to create a core memory and give back and pay it forward to a great cause. The why really came back to let's do something memorable together for the right reasons, and that was paying it forward to cancer patients that need it. And I wouldn't change a single thing from what we did. There were multiple times during the course of the run across Ohio where I was talking to God and asking, God, did you ask me to do this? Did you call me to run across Ohio with this group of guys? And a lot of times in the moment, because it was so hard, I was like, there's 0 chance you called me to do this right now. There's 0 chance. Like this was a selfish endeavor because I wanted to do it with a group of guys. But then after, when you get through it and you look back, you realize like, wow, like there was a serious calling for each of these guys to be there. Every single guy that was meant to be on this RV was meant to be there in support of one another. And the camaraderie and the relationships and the stories, the memories and the impact that we had toward cancer patients, like that was the calling. And that was why faith became a real subject of like reflection for me after this run. In the moment, a lot of times you're going through trial and tribulation, you're like, God is not here with me right now. And then you realize after the fact, hindsight's 2020, that he was in every single step along the way with you. God calls us to suffer, man. He doesn't call us to be comfortable and to just provide and just do this run-of-the-mill routine every single day. The reality is that God calls us to suffer, and he puts a vision on our hearts to go do crazy things with great people for great reasons and great causes, and I felt like that's why God called us to do this.